everybody, and welcome to Minis Painting! Perception Paints Minis! I'm not Robert. He's better looking than I am. He's more talented than I am, so you're stuck with me since Robert can't be here. But we have minis to paint because it's been a long time. Here are some of them. And we're going to paint this. That's not a mini. It's not small, but put some coats of paint on this today, and I think we're going to weather it and try to make it look all nice. And then I've got, if we get to it, I've got some tiny buboes here to paint. We love tiny bubo. So we have buboes here and more Star Wars stuff. Here's the head of the ATST. Gonna assemble that and put that together. And then we also have a snow speeder. Super fun. So many things. And all the paints. So thanks for hanging out. Hope you all enjoyed all the other streams today. Oh, Danny Montooth playing Horrified with some friends. There he is. And the friends are over there too. Everybody's still here hanging out, having a good time. And then you had some cinephilia with art. Super great. I don't have chat up yet, but we'll get it eventually. And that black square art, that's where chat should be. How convenient would that be if it was just up there and you could read it?
No. I mean, technically it's...
Probably could, but he says no. So we have the minis from the Horrified board game. Some classic Universal monsters. Dracula, the Mummy, Frankenstein, and the Bride.
You mean Frankenstein's monster?
Frankenstein's monster, yeah. That's right, Frankenstein's monster. So we're going to paint those, starting with some airbrushing, with some primer. It's gonna be fun. Let's get to it and paint. I would say get your minis and paint along with me. It's a step-by-step process, but it's not. Because that's what Robert does. That's not what I do. I could, if we had all the same minis and the same paints. Sometimes it requires way too many
It's a much
tools.
more selfish stream.
It's a much, yes, Art says it's a much more selfish stream. That's right. This one's just for me. Just for me and my toys. But anyway, here we are. Thanks for hanging out. And let's get started. Primer goes in airbrush. Was everybody leaving already?
No, just Danny.
Oh, just Danny. Bye, Danny. See you later. Yeah. Looks like Primer's doing its primer thing. Just got me a new airbrush. This is the Neo, the Iwata Neo, recommended by Adam and Chess. They said it's a great workhorse. It says it's a great workhorse, so I figured, you know, I'll get it too and get my horses worked.
Deal.
Don't worry about it. Let's see if I switch cameras.
Does it work?
Yeah, it works, but I don't know if this is any better of an angle for you guys.
I can zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, Art will make that look pretty. So in the meantime, we'll go, what does this one look like? Oh, that's fun. We'll keep it on that one while we do some stuff. Rotate some minis and paint them all up.
Get in your chat in a minute.
And chat's coming too, so I can see who all's in here and what you all are saying. But in the meantime, ooh, I wonder if that compressor, if you guys can hear that compressor at all. I'd be curious to know if you hear a compressor going off right now. Put it in the chat. But we'll airbrush the primer coat on these Universal monsters, so then we can get to painting. Maybe one or two of them tonight. Yep, you can hear that compressor. Haha, that is pretty
What if
loud.
we bypass it?
We'll bypass the compressor. We could. I know somebody who is really good at that.
I said at the other hose and I go.
That's how that's how we bypass the compressor. Art will just breathe into the airbrush hose for me. That'll be great. I wonder if all you hear is this airbrush air coming out. So we are airbrushing just a standard primer gray onto these figures. Oh, that's cool. If you airbrush from a certain direction, he's got shadowing. Wolfman's got shadowing on his feet. That's pretty fun. So.
Oh, now it's in the way.
Yep, now my skull is right in the way.
Go back to the main shot.
Okay, hold on. Going back to main. Boo, boo, boo.
Just make sure that's not in the. Oh.
And we'll move it.
But now it's in the other shot. Right?
Yeah, it'll be in the other shot. And we'll move it up to there. We'll move things around. It's fine.
I can also move that.
Here we go.
There you go.
Oh, that's fun.
That's good.
Look at that. Okay, Cindy the Yummy Geek is in. Unless this is old.
That looks so good. I think that's where it starts.
That looks so good. Oh, okay. That looks so good. Thanks, Steph. I don't know what looks good, but here we are. Just putting some primer on the minifigs. It's going to take quite a bit of primer, so we'll keep going on it. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna have to get these from all sorts of angles to be able to maybe flip them upside down and hit them too. That's gonna be fun. This is a process. I've not done this before, so learning as we go with the airbrush, but we are getting there. Oh, nice to see my paint bubbling up. Wonder why it does that. Who knows? All the different angles, yes. Oh, hello, are you guys leaving? Well, see you later. Your creature's less purple now.
Yay!
When you come back, it'll be green. It'll be the right colors. All right, safe drive home. Thanks for hanging and playing.
Oh, I should pull away from your mic a little bit.
Yep. I might need it though to turn down the.
Huh?
I might need to turn down the pressure on it here in a minute though.
Okay.
We'll see how this turns out. Aha. Come on. Lazy Susan of Monsters. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Look at that close-up stuff. Close-up angles, yeah. Hello, Cindy the Yummy Geek. Welcome to the stream. Just putting coats of primer on these minifigures from the game that was just played earlier today with Danny and Adam and Jess. Lil Darky, thank you for following. Welcome to the Perception Studio. This is a really hard. This Dracula with this cape is very challenging. It's going to take a couple of coats probably to get this right. Okay. What I'm seeing in chat art is not what's in a YouTube chat. Oh, yeah? Yes. Yeah, I'm seeing some weird stuff. I'm all commenting on things that I don't think are happening at the moment.
Yeah, that's volume, and that's YouTube.
Oh, I'm looking at volume. I don't know what volume is, that's why.
Oh, volume is the other streaming place we do.
Oh, look at that. What do you know? Volume. That's why it says volume question mark.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'm talking to people on volume only. Now, there's YouTube.
There's YouTube.
Oh. Okay, I'll pull the
friends
stream
on volume
off.
too.
I love friends on volume. How fun. What's that?
that
Yes.
your-
Yes, it is. Doing some overdue mini painting of Crisis Protocol figures. Ooh. Don't know what that is. Sounds cool, though. Crisis Protocol. Shouldn't I have a mask on? I don't know. I don't know. I don't see people airbrushing with a mask on. I see like paints in the paint booths with a mask on, but not airbrushing.
Yeah, it's a little paint coming out of that then.
I mean, I can smell the fumes, so I don't know, but
I mean, if you start feeling dizzy or your head hurts, then we'll find out.
I mean, we're pretty wide open here in the studio. As far as air control and quality. Pretty wide open space. All right, let's see. Yep. So let's see. Right now we are painting, or doing the primer on the Mummy, and he's got a lot of wraps. He is under wraps, so it's very hard to see him. This process of painting the primer on, I might not do again because it's a little unwieldy. I might go to my little holder and just get paint all over the holder while we're doing this. These are nice little figures, though, from this game. They're sculpted pretty nicely. Oh, this has no idea. That's why I asked. Yeah, I don't know. I never figured with an airbrush that you would need it unless you're putting down tons of paint. But I don't even know. I'm sure there's times where I probably should wear a mask for things when painting and using like glue, like when like Art and I were using barge cement earlier, and we were like, it's fine. I might need to look up an airbrush thing though. There's like my paint's bubbling up in the inside the airbrush paint cup, and I'm wondering if that's a thing that's a problem or not. I think I'm gonna have to clean the tip of this a little bit. Airbrush cleaner. I think the paint is starting to dry inside the tip of the airbrush. So now would be the time if I had a Q-tip. That would work perfectly. In the meantime, we'll get some old brushes. Old brushes, and then ooh, wow. So thanks everybody for joining. Oh, there's Emma. Hello, I am Emma. Hello and welcome all y'all. Let's see, so now we got to do a little bit of airbrush cleaning, so unfortunately it's going to slow things down a little bit, so I apologize for that, but you know, got to take care of the good old airbrush. It looks like it's dried a little bit too fast for my tastes. So I'll have to do a little bit of airbrush disassembly and get this cleaned up. Take a look and see. Okay, we're looking okay there. But yeah, we have the minis from the board game Horrified on the table. Trying to put down a base coat, a primer coat onto those. Okay. And then we will move on to some other things that are fun and exciting. What do we have on the table as well? We have more Star Wars minifigs from the Legion game. So we have an AT-ST and a Snowspeeder. I have a personal minifig on the table, and then we have our Mandalorian skull. Yeah, sit that right behind the paints there. That looks pretty. All right, let's see if we can get back into it. So, Painting with Anu brought to you by Dungeons and Dragons. I know, right? Kind of an obvious little shirt there, shirt choice, isn't it? What? Shirt choice. Clean it through here. Use up all this paint. Alright, I'm about to pull some of these figures off and yep, we're gonna do that now. So thank you everybody, and we have some friends. those fumes over on Volume. Thank you. Yes, soaking up those fumes. And it likes Cindy likes the angle, so you can see the details. So thank you, Art, for dealing with that. Much appreciated. All right, let's see here. Let's take who do we want to work on? Wolfman's almost done. Let's get him in the little mini holder. Oh, what happened? Still good, huh? Wrong button. All right, we'll get them in the mini holders. So it's an Andrew stream. That's right. Tiger, thank you so much for popping in and saying hello, and Terrence as well. Much better. Now I can get all the angles on all the characters. There we go. That looks better for the Wolfman. And on to the Invisible Man now. I don't know if anybody's a mini painter that is watching the stream, but I have this Citadel Minis holder, and there's the camera shot right there. And super cool. Curious if people just let the paint get all over the holder and don't really care how it looks, or if you try to maintain the the holder and make sure it looks nice and all free of paint. Curious how people utilize this thing. Pop it in the chat if you have a personal preference or a tip or trick. Because I need to now turn this guy upside down and paint him. That'll be hard. But the details are really coming up on this, which is nice. Let's see if we can get him upside down and get some paint on the invisible sections. Work on the mummy next. Apparently this was a pretty fun game too, so you spend the time fighting your way past the classic Universal monster movies. Skipping a D&D stream to watch me? What, Tiger? Crazy. Thank you so much for that. I use Jessica Gillespie. I use the holders but try to avoid getting paint on them. Easy since I don't paint the bases. Anyways, true. So curious about airbrushing them with primer then. Do you do that on something else or on the holder? I mean, really the only reason I'm getting paint on the holder is because I'm airbrushing them on the holder. Normally if I'm just using the holder to brush paint them, then I wouldn't really be getting any paint on them very much, I imagine. Huh? What? The compressor! Bypass the compressor. Okay, Mummy looks pretty well painted up to me. Okay, yeah, not bad. Pop him back down, and up comes Dracula. This is a fun one. There's the picture. He's got this giant cape that I've got to cover, so that's fun. Let's see. You don't have the skill or gear to airbrush. Yes, you have the skill. You have the skill to airbrush. The gear, if you don't have the gear, that I understand, but you have the skill. Airbrushing is a lot easier than you think. It just takes some patience, especially dual action. So, currently airbrushing the minis with primer. That is correct, Tiger. That's exactly what I'm doing. Tiger on. Oh, too much primer. I have to dab some of that off. There's my water. No. Nope, I found it. I forgot where I put it. I should probably put it back where it was. Right here. Do-do-do-do. Rearranging the workspace. Always fun. So yeah, currently airbrushing with, here's the primer. Oh, boom. There's the primer right there. Airbrushing with surface gray. It's the first time I have done this though, prepping these minis with this, in this manner, with primer. And let's see where we're at with this airbrush. With airbrush and primer. A little bit of airbrush cleaning and we will continue. Can you give me one of those small cups, mixing cups? Just need to flush out my airbrush a little bit. Yeah. Got a whole, gummed up this whole airbrush with some primer, so we're, yeah, thank you. So we're gonna do a little bit of cleaning up. Using airbrush cleaner.
How appropriate.
Yeah, how appropriate to clean the airbrush with the airbrush cleaner. From, I don't know, from Amazon, airbrush cleaner from Amazon. It said, this will clean your airbrush. And I said, okay. I said, I will take some, please. Because I am brand new to the airbrushing. I've only used it once before. I think it may have been on one of the streams, painting back in the day, that some of you may have seen. That's better. So sorry this isn't the most interesting part of painting minis, although it could be for some of y'all. Just applying primer to minis could be fascinating. I find like the detailing and the close-up work afterwards to be the most interesting part. So that's where I have fun with the minis. There we go. Much better. This Dracula one's the hardest for sure. This cape is making it really hard to get good coverage. Creature now. Creature from the Black Lagoon, one of my favorites. I love the creature design, it's so fun. Yeah, getting a little bit of primer on this Citadel holder, but you know what, that's not so bad. It shows some character and shows that I used it. So thank whoever is manning the cameras. It's an excellent job. That would be Art. It's very good at that. So thanks for sticking around for my stream, Art. Making me look cool for the peeps that are watching. Ooh, this creature, wow. Can you hit a close-up, Art? If there's one ready. Because this, oh, this might be out of focus unless it's autofocus. Yes. I don't know if you can see the texturing on that, but even as tiny little scales are textured, this is probably the best minifig in the entire box. As far as the sculpt goes, it looks so good. That's really cool. Oops. A little too much there, gonna have to take some off. So the good thing about using airbrush primer for this is that it, or using an airbrush 2 primer, is it's able to capture all the details on each of these figures without washing them out too much, if I'm gentle enough. There's been some spots on this one already that I've gooped up a little too much paint, but it's still gonna work out, I think. I want to, oh, yeah, you're shifting that one over. Good, thanks. Yeah, this is where I want to put it at. Let's see. Bride of Frankenstein is next. And now for a paint refill. Let's see. Amazing. Have y'all watched Little Bill? That sounds familiar. I don't know. Little Bill? I don't know. Soon we'll get to the Mando skull and that'll be fun. Well, all right, I think we have a clog. Yep. Let's figure out where this clog is at.
Okay.
All right, kind of fix the clog, and now we'll get back into it. And already messed up. Too much primer. Okay, I gotta clean this airbrush again. Almost there. Got a bit of a clog on the airbrush, and now I got to fix it, so thanks. Thanks for being patient, y'all. All right, now we can continue to prime the minis. Ooh, thanks. Which colors will we be using to detail the minis? Great question. I don't know if I have all of them, but I'll show you. I have the player cards for the minis. So this is what I will paint them to look like. So we have the Mummy, Invisible Man. So they've all got these like high key colors. Oranges, greens, blacks. Dracula, the Wolfman. So they've all got this kind of really cool color scheme. So we will use that, and then I have Vallejo Model Air paints, and also their model version of the Air, or the model paints, where it's model color, like this one. Where are you? Da, 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 da. Model color. So we have those from Vallejo to use, and we also have some fun good old Citadel paints. So those will be utilized as well. Okay, making a mess over here, as always. All right, back to it. Come here, get paint. I think I need to turn the pressure down a little bit on my compressor because I can't bypass the compressor.
How many times are we gonna make that jump today?
All of the time. Anytime we talk about the compressor, we're going to make the terrible joke about Ray saying bypass the compressor. Because we know we all love that. Frankenstein's monster. There, I got it right. You happy?
Yep.
Art's very particular about that. Gotta make sure I call it like it is. What you laughing at? You're cackling over there. Thanks for taking time to answer the question. Absolutely, I got all the time in the world. All we have is time to do these with the minis. So, posing for art photos. Yes, please ask all the questions because, well, if I have answers, I can try to answer them. And it keeps things interesting in the chat, because I tend to get really silent when working on minis because I concentrate and I forget that there's people watching. So feel free to ask all the questions. So I think the advantage is to airbrushing the primer on. I mean, it is taking a little while because getting some of these angles is really challenging, but it allows me to put a fine layer of primer on and still capture all of the detail in the mini. so you don't accidentally fill in too many nooks and crannies that kind of ruin the sculpt and cover up the beautiful sculpture that's underneath. So that's kind of nice. It does take a little bit extra time though, it seems. But it's working out rather nicely. And it dries a lot faster, so you can get to the cool painting part.
In a second.
Thanks.
I'm tagging a certain professional puppet making account as well.
Oh. Pro puppet makers. Yeah. Not so.
I didn't say you said it.
Yeah, Make sure you tag me too, and I can promote what.
I did.
Okay. Let's see. What in the lungs in the human body be considered a compressor? Yes. I guess. Terrence D. Clark. I always forget what your names are on the Twitch chat versus the YouTube chat, so don't be offended if I say the full name that pops up in YouTube. But let's see, what is the best old school monster in my opinion? Great question. Best old school monster. Out of all of the ones that are here in front of me, I love the creature. The creature from the Black Lagoon. I think he's pretty cool. Frankenstein is such a classic though. That's not sticky anymore. That's good to know. I do like Frankenstein the best. I was really disappointed in the movie The Bride of Frankenstein because she was she wasn't in. Spoiler alert: she's not in much of the movie. If you all haven't seen The Bride of Frankenstein, like the classic Bride of Frankenstein, I was really bummed to see that she came in like totally at the end of the film. I wonder if I put the cap on the lid, maybe the paint won't dry as fast. I don't know. But yeah, she comes in at like the end of the movie and like screams for 2 seconds and then it's over.
She doesn't like him.
I know, she doesn't even like him either. That's the best part. That's hilarious. So, yeah, I thought hers was odd. I was honestly disappointed with Dracula. I thought Dracula was going to be a whole lot more interesting of a movie than it was. So I should have prefaced this with during Black Friday last year, I purchased the Universal Monster Movie Collection on Blu-ray because it was on sale on Amazon. Got like a great deal for all the every Universal Monster movie. Really cool, super cool stuff. And it. So I was able to watch a lot of these movies that I hadn't seen before, because I haven't really seen a lot of the original Universal monster movies. So this was a nice opportunity to be able to do that, and see them all and watch the whole collection. So yeah, so I finally got to see some of them. So yeah, I was a little disappointed in Dracula. I thought. And I know going into them that they're old movies and they're old Hollywood movies, old horror movies. So that brings with it its own thing. So I knew going into it that they were going to be different, right? A lot of older movies required a lot more thought, but were just a lot slower in the build and the storytelling compared to movies we have today. So I knew that going in, but even then, I was like, Dracula was really boring. And I was a little disappointed by Dracula. Frankenstein was exactly as expected, so that was great. Except for Bride of Frankenstein, I was a little bummed about that. I really enjoyed the Mummy movies. Still a little interesting with the Mummy movies. What I loved is that the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies maintained a lot of the same, like the same namesakes from the original Boris Karloff Mummy. Like Boris Karloff as the Mummy is Imhotep, and they kept that for the Brendan Fraser mummy. I thought that was a really cool touch. And same for Boris Karloff's mummy. Tries to find his lost princess, which is Anck-su-namun, so that's the same. So I love that the Brendan Fraser mummy kept a lot of the original names for the characters. I thought that was really cool, kind of tied that together. That one was fun though. That one was a little odd. The makeup stuff is really cool in that mummy, in the traditional mummy. So makeup looked really good, but it was just interesting of a film to watch. It's very, very different compared to what the stuff that we get today with horror and action movies, action, suspense, adventure, and that sort. This is very interesting because it's just very, very different stuff. But the one I have yet to watch is Creature from the Black Lagoon. So, but he is aesthetically one of my favorites. I love the look of the creature and the concept behind it. The old school notion of him and the damsel in distress that you always see him throw the girl over his shoulder. I'm going to steal her away because I'm an old school monster. That stuff's kind of fun. So I like that one aesthetically. So let's see. Am I using which Dracula? The Bela Lugosi Dracula, like the first Dracula from like 1930, 30 something, 31 is 32 maybe. I think it's the early 30s. I was really disappointed. It's like not a lot happened in that whole movie, and it was over quickly. And I'm like, oh well, all right, didn't do much. Because we just have all of these like stereotypical tropes of Dracula. A lot of the blah Dracula, like in the way he speaks, the speech pattern, all comes from Bela Lugosi. And so there's a lot built up around that, and then you go to watch the original movie, and you're like, oh, not a whole lot happened. So, am I using the machine that Jess and Adam gave you? So, funny story. They were wonderful human beings and donated a compressor to my brand new airbrushing efforts, and that was so nice of them. But I had already got one ordered off Amazon at literally the same time, just a couple days before. Was already ordered one. And when it came in, it turns out it was just a little bit better than the one that they got for me. It was the same model, the one that I ordered, but a newer version of it. Although theirs is absolutely fantastic, I also held on to mine because it has a 3-liter tank attached to it, so the compressor doesn't have to work as hard maintaining the air and the airflow. Because their compressor is just constantly churning over and spitting out air for you, whereas the one that I have had a tank attached to it, so it could continue. There, we'll have the monsters in the shot. So the tank could continue feeding, and then the compressor wouldn't have to work as hard. So yeah. So I have the one that they gave me now as a backup. We have it here at the studio in case we need it for stuff.
Does either one require any backup?
What's that?
Does either one?
No. Neither one of those compressors required bypassing. All right, so you got to finish your sentence first, Art, before it gets to the jokes. So I've got to actually clean this airbrush really quick because we're going to swap out colors, and we're going to. So now I've given these minis a primer coat of primer gray, and then we are next going to give them a base coat of black. And then we will move on. So base coat of black, and then we can get to the touching up. And let's see. Oh, you know what? Before I go too far, I have another figure that I need to primer gray. So I'm going to do that. But first, clean the airbrush. I don't know if it's the primer that I'm using. I feel like I'm cleaning this a lot more often than I have to. But I don't know. I'm new to airbrushing, so maybe this is appropriate how much cleaning is going on with it. So we'll get one more figure, primer grade, then we will. And then we'll move on to another color. Swap out, clean the airbrush. Is that a Samsung smartwatch? It sure is. The Gear S3. Yeah, I almost upgraded to the newest smartwatches now out. But they're gonna come out with another one really soon, I think. So I might wait. Might just wait. But yes, I dig this watch. It still works. It still does its thing. So now we will be, oh, that doesn't work. Let's rotate it. Yep, let's rotate it that way. Well, it's not quite holding this figure in, so we should. There it is. That's what I needed it to do. I had it in the wrong slot.
These for you.
Okay, yay.
So I would go between pip 1, that's what it is like right now.
Yep.
And then pip 2, it does the overhead.
Okay.
And then you go main. It's just you for me. And then I would use main and these two.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, Art. So now we are painting a Bubo minifigure. That's right. Bubo, cast out of resin. So his bow arm actually broke off already, so I had to repair that. So now we will paint. When will I be doing the Mandalorian skull? Soon, because I really want to get to that actually.
Like tonight.
Like tonight, definitely tonight. Yes, if that's what you mean. And by soon, I mean soon tonight, because I really want to do that, because that'll be really fun to do. You good?
This needle just snapped in half in my fingers.
Wow.
That was weird.
Thin needles. We'll be doing the Mandalorian skull soon. You used to have the Gear S3 Frontier. Oh, nice. Upgraded to the Galaxy Watch 46mm since it has a pretty large battery. Yeah. Now, Galaxy Watch, isn't there like Galaxy Watch 3? Isn't that what it's called now? I'm not sure. And then the Galaxy Watch 4 will be coming out, well, whenever they release that. This Bubo minifig is going to be really hard to paint because it's really hard to airbrush at the moment because all these pieces are stacked on top of each other. So there's like, it's casting so much of a these pieces are all casting on each other, so I don't know if I'm going to get a good primer coat. I might have to get a brush in here, so and do it with a brush versus an airbrush. Still getting clogged. Man, this is getting clogged like way too fast. There we go. Knock the clog out so I can get some more paint going. Let's paint here. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to get better coverage for this minifig. Because all these pieces are, you can see the detail on this Bubo minifigure. This is from Hero Forge. I designed it on Hero Forge, and this is printed off of the STL files that you download. So this is the one that I had two made. So we printed this one here at the studio. And then I have, and then I got this one done up from. Oh, let's see if it'll focus on it. There it goes. This one is done from Hero Forge, already primed, ready to go. So that one will be easier to paint because it's already primed, obviously. But priming this one myself, well, proving to be a bit of a challenge. Galaxy Watch 2, excellent. Okay. Yeah, I think they just came out with Galaxy Watch 3, which I almost bought. Well, they didn't just come out with it. It's been out for like 2 years now, maybe a year and a half. And I almost got that because it went on sale because I think the Galaxy Watch 4 is about to drop. So, yes, a lot of overlap. So, Bubo Mini just in time for Danny to TPK them all tomorrow. Exactly. For sure. There was no notification, and I also got a business call. Aw, Reed. No worries. You gotta do what you gotta do. Take it to business.
Yeah, I don't know why notifications haven't been going.
Yeah. Some notifications haven't been for YouTube. Don't know either. Not too much. Yeah, there's a lot of overlap on this figure, so I'm not really sure how this one's going to turn out with the primer coat. I mean, I'll paint what I can, but I don't want to glob on too much paint because I'm going to lose a lot of the detail. So I might have to hand paint some primer on this one. Yeah. He's kind of sort of covered though. It's not too bad. Yep. We'll call that one it. Paint comes right up off of this minis holder, so that's nice. Whoops. Paint's also I'm supposed to take some off the mini. That's hilarious. All right, So there's the Boo Boo Mini, all done. And there's overhead of all of our figures, primed. Cool weathering techniques now. Works. All right. Let's get just a little bit more paint on the Boo Boo. Ah, fell over, no! It's ruined! Stand up straight. There we go, good enough. Oh, that's the credits. We don't need that. How about our heartfelt gratitude to all these people? We'll show them later. At the end of the stream, stick around. All right. Let's see. There's you have to prime them before you can paint them? Yes! Yes, you must prime before you paint. Because that way the paint can stick to the minis and stay there. Otherwise it might just rub right off of the plastic. Especially these monster movie ones. Those were like just regular plastic, like a very very slick plastic. So if you were to paint on top of them after handling them, the paint would just rub right off. So you put the primer down, because the primer will stick to the plastic, and then the paint will stick to the primer, and then it's good. So you searched to find the stream, which is why you even came in late. Oh look, I already got one. I already stole one. Now I have two. No worries about coming in late. It's totally chill. Kind of a surprise. We thought about it a couple days ago. You know, since Robert couldn't make it to Perception Paints this evening, we figured let's fill in the painting time with something else. Me! Painting minis. So, yes. All right, back to cleaning the airbrush. So I shall clean this up, and then let's do... Ooh, I have an idea. Let's put those here. Mando skull. How about that, huh? Let me clear out this airbrush really fast, and then we will move on to this Mando skull right in front of me, which I put on the coats of paint today. Primered it, and then painted it with this cool paint color. And now we're gonna weather it and make it look even cooler. Even more like a skull. But first, we're gonna get some airbrush going again still. So I'm gonna totally clean this one out so we can switch colors. Let me clean this real quick, and then we will, so I'm gonna put some highlights on this first, I think, on this Mando skull. And then we will weather it to make it look cool. It is, yes, correct. It is still painting of a kind, which is why I figured, let's do it. I know I haven't minis painted in a long time. I hope Mitchie shows up for this one. Giving me so much crap in the Discord about not actually holding a minis painting stream after I said I would, and now here we are doing that. So she better be here. She better be here. All right, now ready to do some more paints. Let's see, can you art hand me my airbrush box? Big bag, I think, in the plastic bag. Yes, that. I'm gonna switch to the smaller cup. So I'm only doing tiny little bits, so why put the giant cup on? And that's better. I hope everybody is enjoying their evening. There we go. And enjoying this very chill stream. All right, so we have this, and we're gonna need some of this. We're gonna mix this bone paint with a little bit of white to lighten it up a little bit, and then we're gonna do some highlights on this Mando skull. Okay, enjoy it. Let's see, let's move to this. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Close up on the Mando skull. 100% enjoying Andrew's stream. Aw, thanks so much, Tiger. Really appreciate it. Now we're gonna load up this airbrush with some paints. Inside the airbrush, always fun. And now let's put some white in there to take it, turn it down a notch. And we're gonna need more white. Nice. All right. Getting there. All right, doesn't look like there's any painting getting done. Listen, now that you finally showed up for the stream, there is plenty of painting getting done. You gotta prep first, and then we do the paint. Look at the skull, this was painted. Okay, I painted the skull. It's so pretty. Still not bright enough. Okay. That's like almost the same color. Well, at least I did a good color match, but we got to get some highlights going on in here. You have no excuse, it's just a mess. That's okay. You don't need an excuse. As long as you're here and we're hanging out. And I'm finally doing the mini stream that was promised oh so long ago. So it's all good in the neighborhood. And we're gonna have to go even lighter. So this is fascinating. I thought that this was gonna be, I thought I was gonna have to put in less white than the bone color, but turns out it's the other way around. Turns out it's a ton of white and just a little bit of the bone color to get this highlight that I want. Yep, still not light enough. All right. Today's a pretty toasty day in California. That is accurate. I've been inside in the air conditioning most of the day, so I cannot complain. But yes, super toasty day today. This paint still isn't light enough. This is pretty crazy. I'm having to put a lot of white in here. Should have done it the other way around. Should have put white in first and then the tan color for the bone. But here we are. All right, let's try that. See if we can get this mix going more. I think all the dark colors settled at the bottom. So I've got to do some more mixing, yeah. And add more white paint, so. All right, there we go. Yes, there it is. Now I got a bit of a highlight going. So I don't know if you guys can see the highlighting that's going on here, but we're doing it, and it's working a little bit. I'm trying not to spill it out of the tiny cup that I should. All right. So I'm just highlighting some of the ridges and the high points in the bone to lighten it up a little bit because I'm going to put a dark wash over everything. So this should work out nicely, question mark? What'd you get? Anything good? What good? Oh, with the good sauces? Oh, time to try. What's this sauce?
This is the Cajun sauce.
Mmm.
And the sweet chili.
Mmm. Ooh. Those are fun.
Hmm?
sides. All right. Hopefully you can see some highlights starting to pop through on the screen. Pretty toasty day in California. I hate the weather in New York City. It's hot for a fan, but when I turn the fan on, it's too cold. I can't stand it. All right. Can you see the highlights from way over there? It's very subtle. It's really subtle.
Yeah.
It's just all the high points on him. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so much better. Yep. And I just have to have you puppeteer him the rest of the time. All right, this is already looking really cool. Alright, not so bad. Okay, now we're gonna put a dark wash on it. Is this just for fun or for a project? This is good night, MJO. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. And this is just for funsies. This is for the studio to have a Mythosaur skull hanging in the studio because
John
it's,
JBJ gave it to us.
yeah, John JBJ made this for us. So, time to paint it up and find it a nice home on the hearth. And now comes the fun part. Getting some water, yay! Super fun. Because now we're going to do a bit of a wash. Let's see. Let's add some, hopefully this brown paint is good, otherwise we're stuck. Okay, mostly crusts. This sounded like it was shaking up earlier. Be right back. Gonna get some water. It's gonna be fun. Getting some water. You can hear the water go off too. It's gonna be great. And let's see, got our chip brush and we need some darker colors. Ooh, that's a, oh, gunmetal gray, that's not gonna work. Let's see, black, base gray, matte varnish, there we go. Mix up some paints. Adam Just Effects, oh hello! Was this the same color gray as the dragon skull before you painted it? Yes. Yes, it was. So yeah, we primed this in a gray primer and then hit it with this bone color.
It was a gray print to begin with.
Yeah, it was a bluish grayish print to begin with, yeah. And then we put some XTC Smooth On over it to get rid of some of the print lines. And then, yeah, got gotta give me some photographs of this real quick as I paint it. But hello, Adam Just Effects, welcome to the stream.
It's Adam and Jeff.
Yeah,
We're just here.
you were just here. You could have seen it in person. No, too much, too much, too much. Ah, go back in. So now we're gonna give this a brown wash. Playing with this is, I have, so I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch the Adam Savage Tested, and it's and a bunch of other YouTubers as well, Punish Props and all those. Props to all those people who do some really cool things and make me feel like I can do them too. So I theoretically know how to do this sort of stuff, but never really done it. So what's up? Hypothetically, yep. Hypothetically, I know how this stuff works. Have I ever done it? Nope. But here we go. Let's switch to this. Nope, not that. Well, you can see my mixture. Here we go. Now we can have this go.
Now that camera works.
Now that camera's perfect. A little tighter and blot, 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 blot. We're probably gonna have to do a lot of this. Let's see how this works. Because it's also, it might be too much water because there's not a whole lot of paint staying on the project, so it's good to know. See how this works. I might do a couple layers of this to really get it into the cracks and crannies. Okay, it's a little. Down. So we're going to put this down underneath it to kind of capture the majority of that. Might be doing too good of a job cleaning this up. But it's starting to stain it a little bit. I feel like it's way too runny. Okay, we're getting there. I think I'm figuring out this technique. I might be just cleaning it too much. Let's see. But it's starting to pick up the texture, which I like, so. Let it sit, don't let it run too much. Yeah, that's getting there. Yeah. You might start painting, might start painting minis after you watch me paint them. Sure, do it. It's tons of fun. You'll enjoy it. I do. Okay, there might be too much water in this because it's really runny. Because I'm having to catch the drips off the backside. Because you don't want it to look drippy. You just want it to fill in all the nooks and crevices and crannies. So maybe there's too much water in this acrylic. That could be it. So is it true that I'm now back at work? That is accurate. I am back getting to work. Now those highlights are popping. Yeah, they are, thanks. Just found out my white paint is all dried out, so that drastically affected which minis I can work on tonight. No! Yeah, I hate when that happens. Okay. So, bummers about these acrylics. I think there's too much water in here. That's what I think the problem is. I think it's actually too much water. So I'm going to toss out some of this water. Put some more paint in, thicken it up a little bit, and then maybe it'll start doing what I want it to do. Because I'm just, it's leaving like water-like spots on it, and it's, so it's not, and it's not drying weird. And when I go to pick it back up off the project, by tapping on it, it's just picking up all of it and not leaving much paint behind. So I'm gonna try to thicken up this mixture a little bit.
Too watery.
Yeah, I think it's too watery. Because it's just, as I go to dab it, it's just all coming right back up. So I will add more paint. That's a yes. That is a mighty big mini. Yes, it is. It's the biggest mini. Oh no. Fucking paint everywhere like a noob. It's ridiculous. Alright. Let's try this again. That's a bit better. trick is also to keep it from looking like it's dripping into the skull. Because you don't want drip lines, because that's just fake. It doesn't look real. Let's see, my big mini mythosaurus. Yes, it is a mythosaur skull. 100% accurate. Yes. Have you had a chance to play Flight Simulator off stream? Just a little bit. Not as much as I want now that I'm back at work. But there's some good stuff with it. I got some new controller for my let's see, new throttles for my throttle quadrant that replicate Airbus A380 throttles, so that's cool. So that's been fun to play with. And I just found out that they're doing a, ooh, I just discovered a cool new texture using it. They're doing a Top Gun free add-on to the game when the movie comes out and promotion with the movie. So you're gonna get to be able to be Tom Cruise, Top Gun style. And that's going to be really fun. Yeah. So, I wonder how people forgot about Top Gun Maverick, right? So, foam rubber or acrylic. This is a 3D print. A 3D print that we covered with a like a resin-like compound. Now we are doing the weathering process. So yeah. Let's see. Catch that. Let's do the front. Got bored, wanted to click around a little bit. There it is. Now we're getting the technique. So just rub down the high points. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay, now I figured it out. Took like 2 hours, but we're here. Much slower process than I anticipated. Adam Savage makes it look like it goes by really fast. Must be the power of editing. PLA, yes, PLA. PLA, let's play. Yeah, that's looking cool, huh? Looks real weathered. And I'll probably go back in and bring out some parts to make them a little bit brighter, to look more like the bone. But that's getting there. It's the right thing. It's the right thing. I really want to start get that in the dark. Yep, PLA, then filler goop. So I hope it turns out pretty nifty. Heading to the bunkhouse. Awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for popping in. We'll see you soon. Oh no! Lots of paint. Yep. Because I'm concentrating on trying not to mess this up by doing too much. Oh, Robert Fisher! Just popped in. I almost missed it. Look at that. Just taking over the stream for you. It's definitely more exciting when you're here, teaching everybody how to paint versus everybody just like mindlessly watching me paint. Art says, I'll say. I heard you. But here we are, doing some paintings and weathering up a mythosaur skull. Looking kind of cool. Kind of digging it. It's taking a lot longer than I had hoped, but here we are. Probably take a couple of passes at this and it'll take some time before it looks perfect, but it's a pretty fun process, for sure. Hope you're doing well, Robert. It's been a while since I've seen you, since I've been able to watch a stream. Hope it's going good. Robert says hello to you, Art. And hello to the family. probably getting all sorts of paint all over this Dungeons and Dragons shirt. Robert says, as well, I'm working on some awesome freelance design work. Well, how nice. We love that work. Get that money. This weathering process is taking forever. But it looks cool though, right, Art? Validate me. Right? Art? Looks cool. Validate me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's crying. Crying tears of joy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's getting there. It's not done yet, but I'll probably have to go back over with highlights and stuff, but paint got a little too runny in certain areas. But we'll, I'm probably gonna get in with a brush and get the real dark details. Yeah, it's pretty fun, no? Pretty fun. Didn't know that the mythosaur was originally from the planet Naboo and was transplanted onto another world. I did not know that either. The more you know. I wonder if the mythosaur is a myth. You think it's a myth? Yes. Is the mythosaur a myth? So much paint on the hands. All right, so there we go. There's some mythosaur weathering to start. Looks pretty cool. Looks cooler on camera than it does in person. It's not done yet. I'm probably going to go in and do some real dark details. Maybe we could do that now. I don't know. We also have, I don't know, how much time? How long are we going?
I don't know.
How long does Robert go? It's usually done by now.
He's way done by now.
Oh, way done by now. Wow. Robert is...
Usually in time for the second half of Bachelor.
Oh, second half of Bachelor. Well, sorry you're missing that.
I'm not. I'm watching the
Oh, of course you're watching it right now. My painting takes a lot longer than Robert's because, unlike Robert, I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, Robert knows what he's doing, so his stuff gets done sooner. You should ask him what about it? What? Robert types yes. It's better than the compressor joke. Ted Jones says it's better than the compressor, so I'll stay and watch. Why, thank you. Let's see. I want to get these eyeballs darker. Well, they look great on camera, but they look nothing like that. You can see inside. So that means a thicker brush and some darker paint. Let's see, what have we here? I have you now. Let's get in there with some dark paint. Okay, darker than that. Let's mix up some paint here. There we go. Robert says, your painting skills are amazing. No, they're not. I just break my steps down steps. I can't even talk. Break my steps down super fast, but I have no idea what I'm doing either. Can't wait to see how the earlier minis come out. Me too! They're just sitting there. I'm glad you guys watched me put some primer on them. Super fun, right? So I think this needs to be darker in here. No, this brush is too big. Now, whoop, swoop, swoop, swoop. More detailing on the mythosaur. Another good brush. Now it's on to the details. Hmm.
So I'm back in the Bachelor.
Oh, you're into Bachelor right now?
Yeah.
Stuff's going down, huh?
I'm also in the Bachelor chat group.
Like, oh my God, what's going down? I don't hear music playing anymore, so I'm not sure if that... Oh, yep, Art turned off the music so he could hear The Bachelor. That's what Robert says. You know, Robert, that's probably accurate. He said he was really into it right now, so... He really wanted to focus on that, which is fine. But since I'm not watching The Bachelor, and I'm working, it'd be nice to hear something again. Here I am with X-Files muted to watch me paint. Oh, you could probably unmute the X-Files and mute me instead, to be honest. You know, because I'm not saying much. It's kind of like I'm on mute to begin with. I'm just trying to figure out how to do things for the first time. Weathering a mythosaur skull. Looks pretty cool though. I don't know what you guys think. Can you see it very well? Turned out pretty cool. Oh, what about this view? There we go. Might need to be more contrast in it. But it's pretty cool. It's got some good texture on it, so we'll let that sit for a little bit. Oh yeah, I think what I was showing, let's do, yep, there we go. That's what I was wanting to show you, but I didn't, so. Not so bad, huh? It's got some good texture in it. See it from far away. It's pretty cool. I might do some more. But in the meantime, it's gonna hang out over there. That's overhead. Look at the mess I made. Isn't it wonderful? Look. So now, let's put the next coat on the minis. We're gonna coat them a dark color. So I gotta clean my airbrush, and then we're gonna go with a dark flat black to cover the minis. So let's get some stuff out of the way here. Let's get this airbrush clean. I wonder if I can use this for anything. I don't think it'll match colors anymore. skull. Where'd you get the skull? Did you print it? It was printed by a friend of ours, John JBJ, longtime friend of Danny Montooth. So there we go. That's the skull for now. All right, let's get rid of all of this paint. Get some minis. Nope, there's that one. Which is that's the one I want. Good show tonight. Right. Now we choose a different color. Here we go. On Bachelor or something
No, it's
different?
after The Bachelor. It's called Celebrity Dating Game.
Mm-hmm. I saw a promo for it.
Hosted by Zoe Deschanel and Michael Bolton.
That's so random. Art's watching the Hollywood dating game. Super fun. All right, let's see. Where are we? Yep, we'll go here. It's probably picking up. Yep, one of these. That there, that there. put them right here so you can watch them dry. Super fun process of watching paint dry, which is a majority of the stream. Sorry, we're not getting into anything like super fun and fancy, I suppose, but minis are being painted. So there. Objective complete. This model Vallejo Air is going on really nicely, actually. Tigerian just, oh man, I just realized that it was 1:05 a.m. on the East Coast. Yikes! Robert Fish is loving the process. I've only painted a few minis and I'm excited to see some of your tricks. Ooh, if I even had tricks. I don't know if I have tricks. But I've stolen tricks from others, I suppose. I looked at my watch and went, what? That's only 10 o'clock. It's not too bad. So you guys can see it. This is going on really nicely. I'm very pleased. Bypass the compressor. No! We already made that joke so many times. No. So this step would have been, Dracula looks like a bat now. I mean, that's the idea, right? He looks like a little bat. Caca! This step would have been better had I done it in a black primer, because I could have just skipped this step. So I'm gonna buy some black primer because I see a lot of minifigs actually be done in black primer. There we go, it's easier to see. And then from the black, then they put on the highlights and all the colors, and it's actually it's pretty cool. It works pretty well from what I've seen. So. She's still a little damp. What does this button do? Oh, yeah. That's fun. Half paint. That's cool. You can kind of see his arms. In all the shadowed areas. So let's see, Dracula. Oh, Robert usually do mine in black. That's because I was using the Turbo Dork Hypercolor paints. Is that the actual name? Robert says he's using paints called Turbo Dork Hypercolor paints. I really hope that's the actual name. They recommended it. Do you prefer one over the other, or does it depend on the colors you use? Those minis from Horrified? Yes, they are minis from Horrified. Yeah, we're painting them up to look like the box cover or the character cards. So I haven't experimented with a lot of paint. I've been using a lot of Vallejo. I like Vallejo, and I like Citadel. I love Citadel for specialty paints. I love how well Citadel covers and how easily the paints go on, and then how vibrant they are. That's the actual name. That's awesome. Turbo Dork Hypercolor paints. That's so fun. And then I have the Vallejo Model Air paints. Oh, we'll go that way so you can see them. So that's what I use, and I like them. I like how they go on. They've treated me very well. I haven't done a whole lot of experimenting. Do you clear coat or spray your minis after I'm finished? I don't, but that's actually a good idea to clear coat them with probably a matte finish, depending on the intended result at the end. But that's a good idea to clear coat, so then that way the paint stays on. And I probably should. Now that I have an airbrush, I probably will. Let Frankie dry for a second. You have a problem with it frosting over. I wonder do you use a clear coat that matches the paint that you put on, like brand matching? I'm wondering, and making sure that the clear coat is compatible with the undercoat, like make sure it's acrylic with an acrylic type clear coat. The tip that I see running around a lot is to use the brand specific stuff together. So if I'm using Vallejo paints, then I'll use the Vallejo thinner, and then probably the Vallejo varnish. That way all the paints are made to go together, versus like skipping from one paint to the other, from one brand to the other for that sort of thing. So could that be the issue? Don't know. But that could be the thing. Could be the thing. Who knows? Then there's the Bubo Mini. Yep, here it is, hanging out. Yeah. Hopefully it's useful advice, Rocket. Just a guess, just an assumption. And again, a little bit of that I read online too, that a lot of people just like to stick with the types together, because sometimes it makes a difference. Sometimes the chemicals just don't line up. All right. Now we let these minis dry. Let's see, I'm not sure what shot. This one. That's my overhead. There's all the minis. It looks great from that angle, doesn't it? It's the same shot. Let's go back to main. Pew. Let's see. Chris, I've been having such a hard time finding Curse of Strahd minis. Ooh. Yeah, I know nothing about that. I wish I did. I certainly don't. I know nothing. All right, let's see. We have an ATST to build, so we might do a little assembly project. Got an ATST to make look pretty. All the parts up in here. Yeah. So this one's also gonna get the black base coat treatment. Again, should have done a black primer, but it's okay. So we just need to do some assembly, because some things need to be glued. Right and right, so these go together. Okay, I want to get the instructions out and make sure I know what's what. For the legs, I'm gonna put some legs together. Piece. Gun stuff, gun stuff. Left. That aside. Right, put that aside. That aside, that aside. That's here. Alright. here. All right, missing some pieces. Let's figure out where those went. Right here. Hey Pip, how you doing? So have a great night. All right, see you later, Robert. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you. It is a Star Wars. Yes, it's a Star Wars. Legends of Barovia set. It's not an Amazon West Group, but business and stuff. Fair enough. Boom, these go together. And these go together. All right. ATST build.
Oh, yeah?
Because those are all sitting there hanging out. And I figured it's about time to put this thing together. All right. How's The Bachelor? Is it over?
It was way over.
Oh.
It's actually my bedtime now.
What? It's your bed? You want to go home?
No, it's actually my bedtime in half an hour.
In half an hour? Why you go to bed so early?
Because I wake up early and get shit done.
Oh, that's right. Well, we can end after I assemble the ATSD. How's that?
Robert doesn't make me stay this late.
Well, I'm not Robert. For one, he's cooler than I am. That's the truth. An ATST by the manual. Yep. You need to be at work before 6:30 a.m. Good night, Tigerion. Still don't know how to pronounce it. How long has it been? It's ridiculous. Have a good evening. Thank you so much for hanging out. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. I got it. How do you open these?
You'll leave Brian here.
Probably. Look, there's a leg. It's standing. It's genius. It's wonderful. There's a portion of the ATST leg. Super fun. Part of an ATSD. Nice to know that all those pieces go on together. Works good. I'll have to continue this assembly at a later date. Actually, we'll do this one last piece here, and then we'll call it an evening. Getting close to being finished, my friends. All right, there's some lower ATST legs put together. Super fun to see. All right, I think that'll wrap it up for me tonight. It is getting rather late. Art's got to go to bed, and he's still hanging out here. So we got to get the old man to bed. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, everybody. I super appreciate it. I hope you had a lot of fun here on Perception Paints doing minis painting. Super fun. We will continue this off and on whenever Robert is unable to show up for painting. We will pop in and do minis painting just to kind of fill the gap, and we'll get some more work done. So thank you to Robert for having the night off so I could bump in and have some fun with some painting. And thanks for everybody for joining me. The next things up are tomorrow we have Salen's Legacy, our Human D&D stream at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Join us for Human D&D, Salen's Legacy, continuing tomorrow. And then on Wednesday we have Perception Check. That's our Felted Friend D&D with puppets. Super fun. That will be at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday night. Thank you so much for joining me. Anything else, Art, or are we good to sign off? We're good to sign off. See you later, everybody. Have a good night. Thanks for joining.